Hi, my name is Rabbi Dunner. Welcome to my Erev Shabbos Torah this week for PARSHAT Mishpatim. There is a very interesting pasuk in Mishpatim, a pasuk that contains a hidden halachic ramification. The passage is discussing about what happens if a person hurts someone in a fight, let's say, and knocks the guy out or really injures him. So much so that that person needs medical treatment. The pasuk says, Im yakum v'hishalech b'chutz al mishantoi. If the injured party recovers and can walk about using a stick, v'nikah hamakeh, the assailant is not liable for full compensation. Rak shifta yiten loy, he just needs to compensate him for loss of income while he was incapacitated. V'rapa yirape, and he has to pay him for any medical expenses incurred as a result of the injury. Rashi quotes a Gemara in Brachos Daf Samach Amud Aleph. Tono de Rabbi Yishmael. They learnt in the presence of Rabbi Yishmael, V'rapa yirape mikan shenitna reshus leroifei lerapos. From this phrase in the pasuk in Mishpatim, V'rapa yirape, we derive that a doctor has permission to practice medicine. It's absolutely fascinating. One might have thought that a person of faith can only rely on God when they are ill or injured, and that any human intervention is defying God's will. But this is not the case. This seemingly inconspicuous phrase in the pasuk in Mishpatim, V'rapa yirape, teaches us that not only is it not forbidden to intervene, but that actually this is what God intended, for humans to use their medical knowledge and ability to cure the sick and to fix the injured. That was always part of the plan. So far, so good. But my grandfather, in his sefer Mikdash Halevi, points out an interesting difference between this phrase, V'rapa yirape, that talks about human medicine, and a parallel phrase that describes God's medical intervention. When describing human medicine, two words are used, V'rapa yirape. But when talking about God, a few chapters earlier, the pasuk says, Ki ani Hashem roifecha, because I am God your curer. And in that pasuk, only one word is used, roifecha. My grandfather explains the difference between these two references via a story that happened to him personally in 1941. He writes that his son, Rabbi Ahron Dovid, now better known as Dayan Ahron of London, my uncle, was just 3 months old when he suddenly got a lung infection. The infection quickly deteriorated, developing into acute double pneumonia. The doctors, they were desperately trying to save the baby's life, but nothing helped. One night, a few days after he was diagnosed, in the middle of the night, they called my grandfather to the hospital. Your son only has a few hours to live, they told him. There is no conventional treatment that can cure him. But, and they paused, there is still one thing that we can do. We can give your son a new medication called penicillin. It is as yet untested on little babies, and we don't know the dose that will work, or if any dose will work. In fact, they said, if we give him penicillin, it could kill your son or cause him permanent side effects. But it could also cure him. We simply don't know what is going to happen. The point is this. We don't have a lot of time. If you want us to treat your son with penicillin, you'll need to tell us in the next few minutes, and you'll need to sign a liability waiver that absolves us from any liability if the penicillin damages your son if he survives the pneumonia. My grandfather writes in his sefer that he went into another room and he davened from the deepest depths of his heart. He prayed so hard to Hashem to help him make the right decision. And after a few minutes of intense prayer, he came out and he gave the doctors permission to administer the antibiotic treatment, and he signed the waiver. Miraculously, it really was a total miracle. My uncle recovered. Within 24 hours, the infection had receded and the fever was down. But even more miraculously than the recovery, there were no side effects at all, and within a few days, he was back to normal. Now, for my grandfather, this episode taught him an unbelievable lesson. It taught him that human medicine, however good it is always flawed, and that the most advanced medical treatment is still lacking and can never match the perfection of God's medicine. You can take a medicine, but then that medicine can cause side effects, and those side effects need to be treated and cured. Or you can have an operation to solve one problem, but the operation causes all kinds of other problems. When it comes to human medicine, it is rapoi, yerape. There are two words, because the human element always has to be augmented by Hashem's intervention afterwards to make sure that the cure is complete. That's why you need two words, one for the doctor and one for Hashem. But when it comes to God himself, you only need one word, reifecha, because God's cure is always completely perfect. I pray that all of us remain healthy and robust in every way, and that we never require any medical treatment or medicine. As they say in Israel, Tihyeh bari, be healthy. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, good Shabbos.